Because everybody I speak to says how horrible it is. Nobody explained to me how allowing millions of people from places unknown, from countries unknown, who don't speak languages. We have languages coming into our country. We have nobody that even speaks those languages. They're truly foreign languages. Nobody speaks them. Promises that are made. No wonder they come. I mean, you look at what this Governor Newsom from California, isn't that his name, Newsom? What he's done to California is unbelievable. He's transported the entire columns of fighting-aged men, and they're all at a certain age, and you look at them and say, they look like warriors to me. Something's going on that's bad. Now the United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country. It's migrant crime. We call it Biden migrant crime, but that's a little bit long, so we'll just leave it. But every time you hear the term migrant crime, you know where that comes from. He's a terrible president, the worst president our country's ever had. Probably the most incompetent president.
Trump went absolutely off the rails during his recent visit to the southern border, feeding his fans exactly what they wanted to hear while reinforcing the unfounded fears they have toward anyone who isn't a white, God-fearing patriot.
Sadly, we're saying it's a military operation. It's an amazing job. And if you look at Arizona, they haven't done anything there. Governor hasn't done a thing, and the governor in California hasn't done a thing. People are flowing through there like nothing, but Texas is very secure, and it's going to be even more secure by the time you finish, which will be soon. And what he's done to our country is he's destroying our country. We were just talking before. The general was saying, he can't believe what's happening. He can't believe it. It's so sad. Last year, almost half of all ICE arrests were criminal aliens charged for more than 33,000 assaults, 3,000 robberies, 6,900 burglaries, 7,500 weapons crimes. This is all migrant crime. 4,300 sex crimes, 1,600 kidnappings, and 1,700 homicides and murders. These are the people that are coming into our country. And they're coming from jails, and they're coming from prisons, and they're coming from mental institutions, and they're coming from insane asylums, and they're terrorists. They're being let into our country. And it's horrible. It's horrible. And, you know, I know many of the leaders.
Let's be 100% clear. This is just a rehashing of the incredibly racist black crime narrative reworked and laundered to fit the current hot-button issue of immigration. And we all know that this is nothing new from Trump and is what we expected. However, this rhetoric, when cleaned up enough to mask its sinister intentions, spreads like wildfire, even if a dope like this is leading the charge.
They like Trump. Could you believe it? They like the government.
Just imagine for a second how cruel and craven you have to be to smile and wave at the desperate people who you think are poisoning the country while simultaneously thinking that they like you. This whole interaction is a perfect caricature of American politics, the powerful smiling with glee at the suffering of the oppressed while actively advocating to make their lives way worse.
There's something, I guess, wrong. I don't want to, I feel I'm at a conflict when you ask me that question because we're opponents, and I don't know, it's a tough question to answer. It's easy, the answer, but I don't like doing it. He's got some difficulty. I think most people agree with that.
I don't believe he'd be capable of sitting down to do an interview like this. It'd be when I debated Gavin Newsom, I said, your problem is the guy that you are bragging about could not have this exchange.
Yeah, he could not do this interview. He couldn't do an interview where you ask even a few questions. And I said this morning, I say it loud and clear, he should take a cognitive test. A president should take a cognitive. Now, they say that's unconstitutional. For whatever reason, it's unconstitutional. But I took two of them, and I aced both of them, I'm very proud to say, meaning I got it all right. Ronnie Jackson did one. They're not that easy. You know, they show you the first ones are pretty easy. And then you get into the middle category. Then you get to the end questions. And very few people could answer those questions. They're actually very tough. If you're going to make a big decision as president and you're afraid that as soon as you get out, you're going to be indicted by the opposition party, by the Democrats, by the radical left lunatics who will indict you and try and put you in prison because you're trying to do something good for the country, even if it's severe, the severe may be a great thing for the country. They have to have presidential immunity. If you don't have immunity for a president, and I'm not talking about only me, if you don't have immunity for a president, you will not be able to function properly. You will not be able to do the right thing for the country.
Literally anyone could sit through a softball interview like this from Sean Hannity and Fox News, where he gives Trump free rein to say whatever he wants without the slightest bit of pushback because Fox executives and Hannity know that this is what the viewers crave. But let's see how local residents and some migrants actually feel about Trump and what he represents.
Mr. Trump, change your ways, because what you're doing is you're hurting the people that need the most help. Our community, if you were to study the demographics, it's not easy. It's not easy being on the border. And this unwanted attention, this unwanted militarization of our community is unwelcome. You are not welcome.
Para el inmigrante ilegal, Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. ¿Cuál es mejor, Trump or Joe Biden?
John Biden, de igual manera.
Joe Biden. Trump or Joe Biden?
John Biden.
Trump or Joe Biden?
John Biden.
Joe Biden. Trump or Joe Biden?
Es el Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. We're asking for Joe Biden to help us accomplish our dreams here, and so we can get ahead.
While Fox will surely spin this interview into a narrative about how Biden is promoting crime, the fact of the matter is that Biden and a scary amount of Democrats are okay with the horrors these people suffer daily and the overall notion that immigration is a bad thing for the country.